Okay, so welcome back. So this is part two, and like I promised, I'm going to try and give you some directions as to how to go about working on the assignment. So if you did not watch the previous video, basically what we're trying to do is to walk us through how to work on this assignment here. And what I said is I'll download this file and then download any of these two instructions, or you can use your book, and I do have my Excel file here, and what I should try to do is use what's called a split screen. So I have part of the Excel taking part that, and then I have the instructions right here, and you can resize your windows if you have a big screen. You can do that. Now actually what I've done is I'm using a TV screen at home, so I invested some money because I was tired of using small screens, and you can do that when there is a sale. Just go get yourself a good TV screen, and it's actually much easier because your eyes don't have to strain, and you can see a lot of screens, and that also saves a lot of time. So double monitor or triple monitor, they have been shown to actually increase productivity by more than 25%. So that is what I have. You can have them the other way around. So you can have this on this side, and you can have this screen on this side, so depending on which way you feel you're comfortable working with. So I'm gonna try and put this one here so I can read here and then execute through here instead of minimizing, maximizing, and doing all that stuff. Anyhow, so I have my Excel worksheet here, and like I mentioned before, this is the data from a real estate agent, and this person is trying to make some sense of this data. Now the way it looks to just entering some information, we are going to analyze this data or process it so that we are going to get some information. So this is actually what we call data, and then once you process it, you get information, and then from information you can get some knowledge. So as you progress in your courses, you're going to be taking some other classes that will actually help you to be able to understand those three concepts: the relationship between data, information, and knowledge. And of course, all the way up there, we have what you call intelligence. So business intelligence, things like that. So read these instructions here, and then from A is where you start. You open that. We already have that. So you'll save this file. You go through File, Save As, and then you give it your last name, and then delete the row. So usually is to get a lay of the land. We have the data here, and we have the headings. So the first heading is on A4. Okay, cell A4. From the name box, I can tell that. And from here I can see we have the property. So there is the address, the days on the market, we don't know that, the date listed is there, the date sold is there, and then the list price, the sold price, and something percentage of list price. So we can actually see all that information right here. And usually what we want to do is, if you want to see all the information on a cell, you can increase the size of that cell. So you bring the mouse pointer to the end here, and you can either double click. If you double click, that automatically adjusts the size for you, or you can hold the mouse button down and then you drag left or right. So that's one of the ways that you can do that. Okay. There's another concept that you can actually use with the cells through the formatting, and then you can increase the size of the cells, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. Probably you've already seen that if you have gone through the simulation and the course content. Okay, so when you look at this data here, we can see the item on row 8. That item there is missing some information. So what does the instruction say? Delete the row that has incomplete sales data. The owners took their house off the market, of course. So they put the house in the market, and then maybe they change their mind, blah blah blah. So this information is missing, and you're told to delete that. So you want to delete the whole information. No, if you want to delete the whole row, what you do is you bring the mouse pointer on the row heading. So that's number 8, and you can see the mouse pointer changes to show you where you are. So when the mouse pointer changes into an arrow, it says that if you click it, it's going to select that row. And the same thing with the column. If you're up here, you see that if you click that, it selects everything down there. Everything down there. And if you're doing more than one, you click and hold and then you drag. That's how you do more than one. So right here, we are only doing one. So you bring the mouse pointer here, click, and because you want to delete the whole row and the content, you right click. So remember, bring the mouse pointer here, click the left mouse button, and then that is to select the row, and then bring the mouse pointer back here and then right click. So click the right mouse button and that will give you this pop-up window, and then this has all the instructions or the drop down, the pop-up menu, and then you just click delete. If you click on clear contents, it only removes the contents and leaves you there with a blank row. We don't want that, so you can undo that and then come back here and you just click delete, and that takes out everything. Now you have consistent data. Okay, type this in cell A5 and then use autofill. So this is cell A5. Now I'm not going to do the assignment for you, but I'll give you instructions that will help you to see how to do the assignment. Okay, so this is A5 is right there. How do I know I'm in A5? You look on the name box and you're supposed to type the information right here. So property ID, these properties need to have an ID. So an ID is a value that you can use to identify the record that you have. So we're told to use 2018. So I'm going to type something else, like maybe 2022, like that. And then you have dash 001. Okay. And then if you press enter, so this is the ID for the first one. Now you can come down here and type 2022-002, 2022-003, and on like that. But we have this new feature that we have learned that's called autofill. So what you want to do is, if you want to use the same format, you select the first cell, and then if you bring your mouse pointer to this corner over here, you can see the mouse pointer changing. See that? The mouse pointer will change into a small cross, and then if you hold it down and you drag it down, it's going to do that. So this is kind of an autofill by dragging down, but you can also do it by, when you bring the mouse pointer here and it changes that small cross, you double click. If you double click, you do that. That's also autofill, and you can see we have that consistency. So now these numbers are all unique. It's kind of like you have social security number or driver's license. They are all unique and they're used to identify a record. So that's the first part of what we are doing right here. Remember, mouse pointer small right there, double click or drag it down. And then you're told to calculate the number of days each house was on the market. So days on the market. So how do you do that? This is the date it was sold. This is the date that it was listed. So this is, what is this, January 12th? Okay, and then it was sold on March or April. What is that? Is this December 1st? I'm not sure which format this date is in. So let's see, this is the date, and which format are they using for the date? Where is the short date? Long date. Okay, so January 12th. Okay, so the first one is the month. So this was January 12th, and it took like 3 months, 4 months in the January, February, March, April. Okay. Anyhow, so we're supposed to get the days on the market, and usually what will happen is in Microsoft Excel, although you see this value here is stored as a day, as using the date format, the system actually has a number that starts from January 1st, 1900. So for us to get the days on the market, we're going to use a formula. Anytime that you're using a formula, you tell Excel that you're going to use a formula by specifying equal sign, and then you specify the date that it was sold, the old date plus the new date minus the old date, I'm sorry, and that will give you 90 days. So this value here, actually, if you want to see exactly what value it is, you can go to the number format, and if you click on the number format, this is how many days there are from January 1st, 1900. January 1st, 1900. And the same thing you can do for these values here. If you go to the number format and then you remove the decimals, this is how many days there are between January 1st and 1990. So that's how we're able to get this value here. So once you do that, you do the autofill down here and you get that also. So that's what we do there. And then we are told to copy that and then format the list prices, sold prices, accounting number format. So these are the prices here, list price and sold. So you can highlight. You're going to be doing, so you have to change this to date, remember. What is that? Short date, something like that. So this value should be in accounting. And what you do is you highlight the first one by selecting, and then you just come in here and you select accounting if that's what you're supposed to be doing, and then you remove the decimal places. That's increasing. You want to decrease the decimal places, but you're going to be doing for all of them. So you're going to highlight everything and then you use there and reduce that. Okay, so that's that. And then calculate the sales price percentage. So the percentage of the sales price, you're going to use a formula. Tell Excel I'm using a formula, and you're going to be doing it based on what? This is what was listed, and this is how much that was sold, and you get that value there. Is that? So we want this to be a number. So we need this to be a number, a percentage. We need to be a percentage number like that. So calculate the sales price of the list price in Select 5. The second house was listed for that, but sold for that. Okay, so therefore the sale price should be that. Are we doing the right way? So you have that. Actually, we are doing it the opposite way. I'm sorry. That is the opposite. Yeah, we make mistakes. So you do that. We should be doing it under the list price, the sold price over the list price, like that. And then we want this to be a percentage value. So we do that. And then you increase the number of decimals. I think they said 2 decimal places, and you can do that, and you can check to make sure that you're doing the right way. So that's the value that they have right over here. Wrap the heading on row 4. So row 4, 1, 2, 3, all these headings, you're supposed to do wrap the text. So usually when you have resize the window, you might not be able to have access to all the commands. So sometimes what I do is I'll maximize this so that I can see all the commands. So I have the wrap text command here. You under the home tab, under the alignment, wrap text, you have that. That's what you mean by wrapping text. And then you can come back here, minimize so you can be able to see the next command. I have 4 minutes. I think I should be fine. Okay, insert a new column between date sold and list prices. So date sold and list price, we want to have a value, a column in here. So what you want to do is you always select the cell that is where you want the cell to be, the column to be. So we want the column to be after date sold but before list price. So we select this and then you right click and you go to insert. So bring the mouse pointer to the location where you want the new column, and if you click, you select that column and then you right click and you go to insert, and boom, you got your value, the new column right there. So that's how you insert that. Okay, so we did that, and list price, do the following: move the days on the market range, see that to the new column. So move the days on market range C4. So where is C4? C4 is right there to what? To C13. So always first get a lay of the land to C13. C13. So they're telling us to copy all these values here, kind of copy, and then you come in here and you paste. Okay, you paste like that. So you want to make sure that you paste special because you want to only the values. You want to paste the values. Move the dates on the market range to the new value. Delete the empty column C. So this will be empty once you deleted and copied there. Then to delete, you right click and you click delete, and you have that. So remember, these are empty because I never finished the previous step. Okay, what is that? Okay, delete that. Edit the list date for 41 Chestnut Cycle to that. So to edit 41, so this one, you click on this and then you can come up here and make the changes. Same thing, click here and then you can make the changes right here. So I got 2 more minutes. I'm trying to see I can do as much as possible, and you can do that. So select the property rows and set a 25 row height, apply medium align. So you're selecting the rows. All these are the rows that you're going to be selecting. So you select all the rows like that. And I want to make sure that I have the full screen. So what I'll do is under the home tab, you'll come to the format. Click on the format, and you can do the column width or you can do the row height. So I'm doing the row height. You click on that and you specify how many you want. So it's 25, and then I want you to see what will happen to the height of these rows. You click OK and you have that. So that gives you that. And then you have to apply all borders. So you highlight the same, you highlight all this information here, and you can apply the borders from the home tab right here. So under the home, the font, click on the arrow pointing down and you have all the borders. You can apply that. If you click on that, it's going to apply all the borders. And the next thing that you do is alignment. You can do that. Apply 120 scaling. So you can do that scaling from here, increasing, decreasing. And then delete the properties worksheet. So this is the worksheet. To delete it, just right click and then you just click delete, and that will disappear. And then they say you make a copy, insert a new worksheet. You insert a new worksheet. You can do it by doing that, just clicking on this sign here, and then you right click and you can rename it, give it a new name. and they're telling you to come back here and then copy all of this text here, and you can do it from this button here. If you click on this corner here, this is called the select all. You selected everything, and then you'll come in here and you can paste. I think you have to copy first. Once you select everything, you have to copy and then come back here and copy. Or you can do the same way. If you're inside here, you have control all,